2026 isn't just stacked, it's dangerous. New IPs, unexpected revivals, and sequels that could redefine entire genres. Some of these are already being whispered about. Others are about to come out of nowhere and dominate the conversation. Let's break down 14 games that could define 2026. This one came out of a huge first impression. It's an oceanic apocalypse. Humanity survives on moving fortress cities across flooded continents, while something beneath the waves hunts them. The setting is the hook. Submerged cities, towering waves, bioluminescent sea horrors, and Leviathan-sized threats. Gameplay blends survival and strategy. You manage a mobile base, scavenge drowned ruins, and fight massive sea creatures in large-scale encounters. There's real tension here. If your fortress falls, the run ends. Choices matter, mistakes stick. For a new IP, the ambition is obvious. Tides of Annihilation launches late 2026 for PS5. If you like original survival concepts, don't lose track of this. From the depths to the stars.
This one is intentionally hard to read. Saros is a sci-fi mystery built on unanswered questions. You're exploring a derelict space station orbiting a dying star. The crew vanished after discovering something, and time no longer behaves normally. This is first-person exploration with time-based puzzles. Past and present overlap, objects exist in multiple states, and clues are left across timelines. The atmosphere does the heavy lifting. Brutalist sci-fi interiors, impossible lighting, and temporal distortions selling the unease. Storytelling is non-linear. Logs, environmental details, and fragmented conversations only make sense once you piece time together. Sound design deepens the disorientation. Voices from different moments bleed into the present. Saros launches Q2 2026 for PS5. If you love cerebral sci-fi like Prey or Outer Wilds, keep this locked in. From cosmic mystery to raw terror.
Tarsier Studios is back, and they're going darker than ever. Reanimal makes Little Nightmares look tame. You play as a child trapped in a twisted nature preserve. The animals are stitched together abominations, familiar shapes turned deeply wrong. The art style is pure nightmare fuel. Stop-motion-like movement, handcrafted textures, and shadows that hide things you don't want to see. Gameplay sticks to Tarsier's strengths, environmental puzzles, stealth, and enemies with unique behaviors that force patience over panic. Co-op adds real tension. Two children, different abilities, and separation that makes every mistake scarier. This isn't shock horror. It explores childhood fear and trauma through unsettling imagery. Reanimal launches spring 2026 for PS5. If atmospheric horror gets under your skin, don't miss this. From corrupted innocence to cosmic dread.
Koei Tecmo is reviving pure Japanese horror. Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly Remake is not for the faint of heart. Twin sisters Mio and Mayu are lost in a cursed village. A place trapped outside time, filled with restless spirits from a failed ritual. Your only weapon is the camera obscura. You fight ghosts by photographing them. The closer you let them get, the stronger the shot. The tension is unbearable. Standing still, aiming through the viewfinder while a spirit drifts toward you is pure dread. Atmosphere is everything here. Traditional Japanese architecture, ritual imagery, whispers in empty rooms. The sister bond adds emotional weight. One is being drawn to the village, the other desperately trying to save her. Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly Remake launches mid-2026 on PS5. If you love psychological J-horror, skipping this would be a mistake. From cursed villages to blades and steel. Team Ninja is closing the trilogy in a big way. Nioh 3 aims to be their most ambitious entry yet. The setting expands beyond Japan. New regions across Asia introduce fresh folklore, demons, and enemy designs. Combat remains peak Team Ninja. Stance switching, key pulse mastery, and fast, punishing encounters that reward skill. Build depth goes even further. New mechanics, weapon variety, and guardian spirit customization push theory crafting to new levels. Boss fights evolve. Multi-phase encounters, adaptive enemies, and brutal difficulties still define the experience. The story continues long-running character arcs, a proper payoff for fans who followed the trilogy. Nioh 3 launches Q3 2026 for PS5. If you love precision combat and deep systems, this is unmissable. From disciplined blades to raw power.
Insomniac is taking on Marvel's most brutal character. Marvel's Wolverine follows Spider-Man 2 with massive expectations. This is a fully mature rated Logan. An M rating means brutal claw combat, berserker rage, and zero restraint. Combat leans into close quarters violence, fast, aggressive claw combos, healing factor risk-reward, and environmental takedowns. The story dives into Weapon X trauma, memory manipulation, psychological scars, and Logan's struggle between rage and humanity. The setting mixes wilderness and crime underworld, Canadian forests for tracking and hunting, Madripoor for gritty urban missions. Expect deep Wolverine lore, Sabretooth, possible X-Men ties, and connections to Insomniac's Marvel Universe. Visually, this is next-gen Insomniac. Advanced animation, dynamic weather, and brutal combat presentation. Marvel's Wolverine launches late 2026 on PS5. For fans of mature superhero games, this is unmissable. From claws to complete chaos.
Grand Theft Auto 6. This isn't just a release, it's an industry reset. Rockstar returns after more than a decade. Dual protagonists Lucia and Jason set in Vice City and a massive Florida-inspired world. The scope is absurd. Multiple cities, swamps, beaches, highways, and a living world that reacts to your actions. Rockstar is pushing systems forward again. Smarter NPCs, deeper economies, evolving world states, and technical ambition beyond current open-world games. The satire will be razor-sharp. Social media culture, American excess, and chaos filtered through Rockstar's cynical lens. Gameplay innovations focus on depth. More flexible heists, crew management, improved physics, and weighty combat refined from Red Dead Redemption 2. And the online component, whatever form it takes, will dominate streaming and culture for years. Grand Theft Auto 6 launches 2026 on PS5. This isn't optional, it's day one. From cultural earthquake to cosmic mystery.
Pragmata and Capcom's silence is very much intentional. Years of mystery, zero handholding, and that's exactly why this stands out. The debut trailer said everything without saying anything. A lone astronaut, a mysterious young girl, a broken Earth, floating debris, and zero-gravity chaos. No exposition, just questions. This is sci-fi action-adventure with puzzle focus. Gravity manipulation is heavily rumored, zero-G traversal, combat without orientation, and environmental puzzles in full 3D space. If true, this is mechanically rare. The art direction is haunting. Near-future tech mixed with surreal imagery. A fractured moon hanging in the sky tells you everything went very wrong. Capcom's restraint is smart. Every reappearance sparks theory crafting and speculation. This anti-marketing approach is building quiet hype among core players. Built on an evolved RE engine, expect the same visual polish Capcom delivered with Resident Evil and Street Fighter, but applied to sci-fi spectacle. Pragmata launches 2026 for PS5. For sci-fi fans who love mystery over exposition, this is one to watch closely. From cosmic mystery to samurai rebirth,
Onimusha, Way of the Sword, and Capcom is reviving a long-dead legend. Nearly 20 years later, this comeback has real potential. Feudal Japan under demonic siege, you're a samurai wielding the Oni gauntlet, absorbing demon souls while the Genma corrupt the Sengoku era from within. Classic Onimusha DNA, rebuilt from modern hardware. Combat is precise and lethal, sword-focused duels, perfect parries, critical counters, and the return of the iconic Isen one-hit kill, now powered by the RE engine's fluidity and impact. The Oni gauntlet systems are deeper. Soul absorption fuels abilities, elemental attacks, and devastating finishers. Build variety looks tied to which demon souls you equip. The art direction is stunning. Photorealistic Japanese architecture contrasted with grotesque demon designs rooted in myth and folklore. Capcom's momentum matters here. After Resident Evil, Street Fighter VI, and Monster Hunter, expectations are high and justified. Onimusha, Way of the Sword launches mid-2026 on PS5. If you want stylish samurai action with legacy weight, this revival matters. From demon blades to open-world chaos.
Crimson Desert and Pearl Abyss is aiming way beyond expectations. This isn't Black Desert Online again. It's a full, single-player RPG takeover attempt. The continent of Pywell is enormous, a grounded medieval fantasy filled with civil war, political intrigue, and survival mechanics. You play as Macduff, a mercenary leader trying to keep his company alive in a collapsing world. The scale is ridiculous. Seamless open world, dynamic weather affecting combat, and living ecosystems where hunting prey can attract predators. The world reacts to what you do. Combat blends styles. Tight, skill-based melee with parries and combos, then zooming out into large-scale battles where you command troops. Personal action and battlefield strategy flow together naturally. The Greymane system stands out. Your mercenary squad has named members, loyalty, skills, and permanent death. Decisions matter and losses stick, creating real emotional stakes. Visually, this is top tier. Pearl Abyss's engine delivers photorealistic environments, detailed facial animation, and weather systems rivaling the best in the genre. Crimson Desert launches late 2026 on PS5. If it delivers on ambition, this could redefine open-world RPGs. From mercenary survival to surgical combat.
Phantom Blade Zero and S-Game might shock a lot of people. This studio came out of nowhere, and the gameplay looks ridiculous. It's dark wuxia fantasy with Souls-like roots, but the speed is the hook. Sekiro precision mixed with Devil May Cry aggression. You play as Soul, a betrayed assassin resurrected for revenge. Combat is everything here. Frame-perfect parries flow straight into cinematic counters and long combo chains. This rewards constant pressure. Hesitation gets punished hard. Weapons add serious depth. Blades transform mid-combo, stances shift on the fly, and key abilities unleash supernatural attacks. Different builds actually change how the game feels. The art direction stands out. Ink wash-inspired visuals, Chinese mythology, and brutal enemy designs give it a strong identity. Boss fights demand mastery. Multi-phase encounters, tight windows, and cinematic finishers triggered by perfect parries. Phantom Blade Zero launches mid-2026 on PS5. For action fans, this could be one of the year's biggest surprises. From martial precision to covert espionage.
007 First Light, and IO Interactive is finally giving Bond the game he deserves. After the Hitman trilogy, expectations are sky high, and for good reason. This is Bond before the legend. No 00 status yet, no polished confidence, just raw talent, early missions, and mistakes that shape who he becomes. The gameplay is classic IO sandbox design. Stealth infiltration, social manipulation, clean assassinations, or loud improvisation.
You decide how missions unfold, and the game reacts. Gadgets return in a big way. Explosive pens, watches, tech from Q, but used freely, not scripted. Creative tools, not button prompts. Locations sell the Bond fantasy. Casinos, secure facilities, underground networks, and global hotspots built for experimentation. 007 First Light launches late 2026 on PS5. If Hitman proved IO's mastery, this could redefine spy games. From espionage to ancient legends.
Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis and Crystal Dynamics is bringing Lara Croft back the right way. This is a full-circle return to classic tomb raiding, not another survival origin. This is experienced, confident Lara, a seasoned archaeologist, not a reluctant survivor. The Atlantis myth gives the perfect excuse for ancient technology, supernatural mystery, and large-scale puzzles. Tomb design is puzzle-first again. Massive, multi-room tombs focused on observation and logic, not scripted climbing. Progress comes from thinking, not XP bars. Atlantean mechanics change gameplay. Water manipulation, shifting structures, and ancient machines that require understanding how the civilization worked. It fully embraces pulpy adventure over realism. Combat exists, but it's secondary. Exploration, traversal, and discovery are the core pillars, exactly how Tomb Raider should feel. Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis launches late 2026 on PS5. For fans of classic Lara, this looks like the real comeback. From lost cities to legendary icons.
Resident Evil Requiem, RE9, and Capcom is aiming to redefine survival horror once again. This is the closing chapter of the RE Engine era, and expectations couldn't be higher. The story reportedly follows Leon and Jill in parallel campaigns, dual perspectives on a global bioterror event with timelines that intersect and reveal different truths. Think RE2 remake structure, but on a much larger, more ambitious scale. Horror is shifting back to survival first. Limited resources, oppressive atmosphere, and constant tension, blending RE7's fear with RE4 Remake's refined combat, the balance Capcom has been perfecting for years. Enemy design is said to be brutal. New BOWs built around body horror, environmental threats, and boss encounters meant to unsettle, not just challenge. Narratively, this ties everything together. Threads from RE7, Village, and classic entries converge, pushing the franchise toward a defining moment. Resident Evil Requiem launches February 2026 on PS5. When a mainline Resident Evil drops, the industry stops, and this one feels massive. From ancient ruins to pure survival terror. And that's it. 14 games set to define 2026. From bold new IPs to franchise-shaking sequels, next year is stacked. Which one are you most hyped for? Drop it in the comments. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.